Okay, Jade Arrow here once again, and today I am spectating a 1v1 between a couple higher ranked players. These players are both, I think they're 1900s to low 20k, so these are pretty high players, a lot higher than my rankings, for sure. So I'm really excited to see this match between these two. Our first player, to the south west of the map, in the yellow, playing as the Byzantines, we have King of the Losers, kind of a strange name for someone who's such a high level, but I guess he's just referencing the number 8 taunt, which for anyone who plays this game would know is all hail King of the Losers. But that's our first player. And to the very north of the map, in the blue, playing as the Turks, we have Karante. Alright. So, just to start off looking at the maps, I think blue has a lot better map to wall. And probably just a better map in general. He's got, both of his golds are in the back of his base. His wood lines are forward, but he does have this wood line in the back, which looks to be where he's going. So he's got safe gold, he's got safe wood lines. His stone is way over here to the side, and it's unfortunately surrounded by trees, so he can't really get that very easily. He'll have to go out to this one, which unfortunately is also surrounded by trees. And being the Turks, he's probably thinking of going Janissaries, so he's going to need stone for a castle. So it's going to be a bit of a problem for him to gather stone. And for yellow, all his minerals are forward. All 3 golds. He actually got very fortunate and has one of the neutral golds right there next to his base. So that's fortunate for him. But it's all forward, and there is a hill right here, which can be both good and bad. He's probably going to camp here, which will be very difficult for blue to push up, but if he does take over this hill, then yellow's going to have a very rough time pushing forward here. And yellow is surrounded by hills on all sides. So he's probably going to want to play more aggressive versus Karante. And probably, I don't know what he's going to do. He might, as the Byzantines, probably go archers and skirmishers because of the cheaper trash units from the Byzantines. And for anyone who doesn't know, trash does not mean that they're horrible. It means any units that don't cost gold. And the Byzantines get cheaper trash units. So we might go archers and cheaper skirmishers versus the Turks, who just don't get great archers in general, but they do get free light cav upgrades. So he might go with scouts just to put on the pressure, and then when he clicks up to Castle H, he'll get free light cav to beef up his scouts even more. And yellow's probably going to lose his scout right here. Yeah, there it goes. He did grab that sheep, but blue's just going to take it right back. And yellow's trying to wall up on this side, it looks like, but he's going to have a bit of a rough time. He's going to need to wall like through there, it's going to need to wall the shoreline, and once he gets to this point, there's nowhere he can very easily wall. On this side, there's not really a very easily wallable area either, so he's probably going to play pretty aggressive. He's got 5 on wood, so it does look like he's going to put down farms and either go with fast castle or maybe scouts. If you're going for an archer strategy, you'll usually see only about 4 on wood at this point in the game. But yellow's got 5, which indicates that he's going to be putting down farms, which also indicates that he's probably thinking of going scouts in Feudal Age. And blue also has 5 on wood, so he might be considering doing the same. And blue does have this patch of deer, which is fairly close by his TC, so if he wants to lure that in with a scout, that'd be more food for him. But he is going to send one of his villagers over to stone. So he might decide to go towers. Probably not this late. He's sending more on wood, where if he were going to go towers, he'd be sending these units over to stone. But looking at his resources, he's not planning on a fast castle. So I'm not sure why he has a villager over on stone so early. Maybe he's just sending that over there just to start collecting stone for a castle. But blue's going up to feudal, yellow's going up to feudal. They're going to hit feudal at about identical times. And then, yeah, it looks like yellow's going to go scouts. He doesn't have any villagers on gold, which you would have at this point if you're going archers. And blue doesn't have any on gold either, so they're both going to be doing scouts. And blue's going to make a makeshift wall on the front of his base, which would be nice for him, but then yellow can just swing around this side. And yellow's going to try and go aggressive with his walling. That's about the best walling he's going to get, which is kind of tragic for him. And he's not getting his deer, and he's got to be careful here. Blue did get the hill bonus and advanced to feudal age, so he's got the attacks on it, the attack upgrades on his scout. So yellow's probably gonna lose a villager here, and yeah, blue's gonna decide to pick that off, and probably gonna get away with the scout. But both yellow and blue went up to feudal at identical times. And there's a stable from yellow, and there's a stable from blue. And no blacksmith from yellow, and I haven't seen one from blue either. So they're not going to have the defense upgrades, but might be prioritizing bloodlines instead. But we don't have a double stable, so it's not going to be a full feudal from these guys. And yellow's just going to pick off that scout, but there is a hole right there. There's always a hole. And yellow's just going to quickly patch that up, but blue's getting his scouts out, yellow's getting his out, and yellow does have more farms. He's got 6 of them, whereas blue only has 4. And neither of them went for these deer, which is quite a big investment of food. I've got 4 deer. Sometimes you will only get 3, but if you have 4 deer, each of them with 140 food, that's 560 food. So that's quite a hefty amount of food these guys can get. And we're going to see an engagement here, and I think blue's going to run just because he's got a half HP scout, and yellow came out with a defensive spearman. And we don't see a spearman from blue, but he's probably not too concerned about it because he's just going to wall up here, and he knows where his enemy's army is. And it's a minor detail that's pretty significant. He's not building spearmen, he's just barely come out with one now. And that's because he knows where his enemy is. And there's really no reason for him to be making a whole bunch of defensive units if he knows where his enemy's army is. And I think that's something a lot of the lower ranked players will do, is they'll know what their enemy has, so they'll make units and keep them at home to defend. But there's no point if they know where their enemy is. And yellow's come out with quite a few spearmen. He's got 3 of them. And blue scouts are all the way over here. And I don't think there's a hole there, so yellow is fully walled on this side. But it looks like yellow's going to push forward with his scouts while keeping his spearmen at home. And blue now has his spearmen just right there on his farms. He's got the other one over on this side, defending the villagers who are walling up. And yellow's probably going to come through this side, and I'm not sure what he's going to find. He might go straight for the wood line, but blue is expecting that, and built a watchtower in defense, and that's probably what that one villager was for, to get enough wood that he can put up a defensive watchtower. And it's not so much for the attack as what this tower's for. It's not to like kill any scouts that come in, it's to give his villagers a safe place to just jump in there, because they are fairly far away from their TC, and if he were to run all the way back, he would lose a couple villagers, probably. But so far, good engagement from blue there, nearly picking off one of these scouts, and the other one's lost some damage, and he has 2 full health ones. But his scouts are over on this side, and they're a lot bigger health. Got a moonwalking scout right there, so good swag points from him, I guess. But if he were to engage right now, yellow would need a hill bonus to take a good engagement. But he could loop around this side, and is going to find himself face to face with another spearman. So I think blue's well defended. Yellow is defending with what he's got fairly well. And he's going to come in, and blue's going to push forward. Might pick off one of these scouts now if he targets the low health ones. And instead going to take a big chunk of health off that scout. And we're going to have a small battle there. And blue's going to try and quick wall these scouts in. And he's going to do well enough job. There's 3 scouts down for 1 villager. And these scouts are pretty much all full health except for that one. So yellow's going to be in a bit of trouble if blue decides to come forward. And now he's gone with skirmishers as well, and he still has a lot of these spears. And looking at the resources, blue almost has the resources to go up to Castle Age, and yellow a little bit further behind, but he will be going up fairly soon, and has decided to come out with skirmishers, which seems like a strange option. The scouts will kill the skirmishers, but I think he's expecting that his opponent will see how many spearmen he has back at home, and is going to make archers to counter that, and so he's going to have skirmishers ready. So he's thinking a step ahead, and yellow has decided not to wall up this area with your typical palisades, but instead to make a human wall of spears. That is quite a hefty price of gold there. It will delay his castle time. They are cheaper because, being the Byzantines, they get the cheaper trash, which both skirmishers and spearmen are. But that will set him back just a bit, which is why he has less food. But he has clicked up to Castle Age, and blue has also done the same. These guys are still neck and neck for Castle. If you look at the progress bar at the top of the screen, it's nearly identical times. Yellow's going to be maybe a second behind. That's how close these guys are. And even though they've gone with a bit different military numbers, yellow's got a lot more spears and has gone with a few skirmishers, whereas blue was just content with his scouts and only made a couple spears. They're still neck and neck for the Castle Age. And blue has not gone out to stone, so he's not too concerned with getting a castle up. And he does have a few more builds on gold than yellow does. Yellow's only got 3. So, being the Byzantines with only 3 on gold, he's either going to send more forward, or just going to stay with what he's got and go with more skirmishers, probably upgrade them to elite skirmishers. And that's probably what he's going to do. He's come out with a second archery range right there. And blue has gone out with a second stable. So we're going to see probably light cav from Turks player. Could also see knights because he does have a lot on gold. So we're probably going to see knights from him. And they're both going to hit Castle Age. Bam, bam. There we go. Both hit Castle Age. These are automatically upgraded to light cav. And here come the knights from blue. And blue does have the first defense upgrade. And he's not getting the second one immediately. And yellow, back at his own base, he doesn't have fletching. He doesn't have any defensive upgrades, and has instead decided to boom. And he's going to throw down 2 town centers right at the start, and throw out some more villagers. So, 2 different strategies. Blue hasn't even thrown down a TC. There it is. So he's just going to put 1 down. And blue's going to come out and is probably going to find yellow fully walled up. He will easily be able to break through the palisades if he so chooses. And that's probably what he's going to do. Yellow only has the 1 villager out here. But he's going to find yellow fully walled. And yellow just now getting fletching. So he's prioritizing his skirmishers. And I think he's going to be upgrading them. He's not coming out with any more at the moment. And he is upgrading to pikemen. Because he probably saw for that split second that blue came over here. And he's going to see if blue comes forward on this side. He's going to see the knights and light cav. So he's going to come out with pikemen in defense. And they don't have any upgrades, but they don't need it with the attack bonus that they get. And I think for the pikemen, they get plus 16 versus cavalry, and there's still a hole there. And yellow's like, are you serious? There's still a hole. And he's also come out with camels, so we're going to see a camel pikeman combination from yellow. The camels are there to pick off any skirmishers or archers that will be there to counter these pikemen. And blue has come forward with this villager. I'm not sure what she's going to do. Maybe make a tower right there just to harass this wood line a bit. And could also make forward military. Being the Turks, he could go with cavalry archer. Turks do a very strong cavalry archer. Looking at their stats, they get, where is it? Right there. One of their unique techs, Sipaki. Their cavalry archers get plus 20 health with bloodlines. That means their cavalry archers have 100 health. So one of the best cavalry archers in the game, I think. And yellow is going to chase down that 1 villager with that camel. And I'm not sure if he's going to get her. Camels only have... He only has 6 attack on that camel. And which seems strange because of how much damage that they do to cavalry. But that's because of their bonus damage that they get. And yellow has now decided to add monks. So he's going with a full anti-cavalry army. He's got camels, he's got pikemen, and he's got monks. So he's expecting that blue's just going to go full cavalry here. Which I'm not sure blue would keep doing that, because he is on stone here. So he's just saving up to get his castle out. He only has 200 stone at the moment. But that's because he did throw down 2 town centers, which set him back 100 stone apiece. And where is he going to put his castle? I don't know. He might decide to put it defensive, or he might put it out here, just to keep the front of his base secure and also secure that gold mine there. And yellow's gonna come out here on this side. Not sure why he would do that. Blue did see that he broke open the wall, so he might decide to prioritize this area over here. But that watchtower has gone up for blue, and it's gonna be annoying for yellow. It's not the end of the world, but it is gonna be a bit annoying. And now blue's gonna come forward with his army here. He's got quite a few numbers here. He's got maybe 15 or 16 cavalry here. And he's also going to throw up a monastery of his own just to convert the enemy camels. And yellow has now got bodkin arrow for his crossbow. So he's going to come around this side. I'm not sure what he's going to plan to do over here. He might just wait for blue to come in and just try to engage it here, or he might delete one of his houses and run out and try and attack him on that side. But yellow's got a bit of everything in his army. He's got at least 5 different units, so he's gone just a bit of everything to counter whatever blue has, whereas blue has just got full cavalry over here. So there is a hole now for blue, but I think he was just baiting on this side, and he's now going to run around and run through here and just try and do whatever damage he can. And he's going to hit the wood line. He could run through here and hit the farmers or the gold, but yellow does have his town centers fairly well placed that his villagers can just jump right in, and there's really not many villagers that are far enough away they'd be in any trouble. These ones over here on the wood line would be in danger, and these ones over here on the wood line are very far away. So if blue were to know or see that yellow's over here, then he could just run in on this side and take out quite a few villagers. And yellow does have his monastery, and he has a relic right there. I'm not sure if he's seen it yet. And the other relics are more to the middle of the map, and one next to blue's base. And I'm not sure where the last one is, but it's not going to be a whole lot. I think blue picked it up. Yeah, he has it. So it's just a little bit of gold. I think it's 1 gold every 1.5 seconds. But there's where blue's going to put his castle. It's right there. And here's going to be a big engagement. Yellow does have a lot of camels here, but blue has taken the hill. And these pikemen are a bit out of position. They were a bit farther back, and they're just now coming into the fight. And yellow's army was split up a bit. He had a few camels over on that side, so he lost most of his camels, but blue has lost like most of his army. It's almost all gone, and this castle's probably gonna get denied. And so fairly decent engagement for both players. Blue, I think, got the worst of that engagement, just because he lost pretty much his whole army and tried to go for this aggressive castle. It's like 99%, just barely going to go up. And these camels are going to take a lot of bonus damage from that castle. Not as many as they would have in the original AOC, since the expansions, they've been dropped in their arrow fire bonus damage. It used to be a lot. They were technically counted as ships, of all things, which is kind of strange. But they're still okay. This castle is going to be pretty effective against them, and blue has made it up to the Imperial Age. And yellow's probably not far behind, Yeah, he's just barely clearing up. That means blue could get ahead in the trebuchet wars. He's instead gone for conscription, and yellow's going to put his castle on this hill as defense. I think that's probably about the best spot he could put it. It doesn't really do a whole lot of defense for his base, but really there's anywhere blue can go to try and raid, and he'll be hit from arrows anywhere he goes. I think yellow put it there rather than on this hill, because he knows blue's up to the Imperial Age before he is. He's going to be ahead in the trebuchets, and he can just sit on this hill and have bonus attack damage against this castle if it were right there, because of the hill bonus he would get if he were just to sit there. But blue's instead going to tread down this town center, and he's got now hand cannons. The another Turk bonus is that their gunpowder units cost, I think it's 15% less gold. So he's going with Janissary and hand cannoneer combo. And you're probably thinking, well, why isn't he going like just Janissary? Like so much better. They're identical stats except for the Janissary at +1 range. And a few reasons just to mix it up is hand cannons are created from archer ranges, so they don't need a castle, so you can create more of them. And blue did place his castle forward, so he's probably afraid he's going to lose it. So he's just throwing in hand cannoneers, and they're basically identical units. One range isn't a whole lot of difference. So he's just creating a whole lot of both of them. They're pretty much the same units. So it's kind of like having castles is instead of archer ranges, or I guess an archer range instead of a castle. And they do create faster. So that's why you would go hand cannons with Janissaries instead of just Janissaries. And he's also going to come out with bombard cannons just to help with this assault on this side. And blue has also come forward here and taken this gold. And yellow does see it. He has an outpost right there. And he's also going to use his hussar to take out these villagers. So this is quite an army for both players. And yellow has seen the hand cannon, so he's gone with his cheaper elite skirmishers to counter these hand cannons. But he's going to need quite a few of them. And he's currently not creating them. So he's probably distracted, and yeah, he's just now queuing up his archer ranges. I think he needs to put another one down, because blue's right there. You can take out these archer ranges, and then yellow won't have the production for it. And that's a far deadlier enemy than this army is. And it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it doesn't matter how many resources you have. If you lose your production buildings, it's over. That's really something that you don't really notice when you're playing. That if you lose your production buildings, you don't realize how many you've lost until it's too late. So it's something that you really need to focus on. And right now, blue has the map control. He's sent his monks forward to gather up the relics, and he's also going out to gather up the golds around the map. And I think yellow's really fortunate that he has these golds here. But big fight now in the middle, and I think yellow's going to be able to push him away. And these camels are quite tanky units. He does have the full defenses for him. And he's going to hold here. I think he needs to take out that bombard cannon. But he's instead decided to focus the light cav to keep them from taking out the skirmishers. And skirmishers are going to clean up these bombard cannons, the camels are going to clean up the bombard cannons, but they are going to get cleaned up here, and both players pretty much losing almost their entire armies. And I think that's a big setback for yellow, and he just resigns right there. He took the one engagement, and it didn't really pay off for him. So he tried, he had the hill, but I think there was just too much gunpowder in his face to be able to deal with it. So well done for blue for pushing forward like that, and good job from yellow for defending. And that was a pretty good game from these guys. But that's gonna be it for this video, and thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you amazing people, and I will see you all in the next video.